Heyo. Shoot me. Shoot me.
That was pretty awesome.
Pretty lame.
I mean, the chat says best game they've ever seen of all time, so you entertain them.
Thanks.
I don't even know where to begin on that game. There's so many things I can talk about.
Sure, go for it. I just.
Right. Well, we'll just do the pertinent points.
Okay.
All right, so let's start. Oh, you need to examine me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'll
Okay.
read the comments later. So, but yeah, go ahead.
That's fine. So yeah, if you want to play a dragon, you have to know like what the move order is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so already
Okay.
here
It's D6. It's D6. Yeah.
you've excluded yourself from playing the dragon. So
Right.
I mean, you can play a lot of other things, but you
Not
unfortunately cannot play a dragon, and I'll show you why this doesn't work in a second.
Okay.
You probably didn't see why, but there's a reason. Ooh, Yakov and Shanky Panky. Okay, sorry. So anyway, okay, so here, what you should probably do if you're gonna play this position is one of two things. You can either play the accelerated with G6, or if you don't feel comfortable playing that, you can play E5, and then E5, D6, and then this is another type of Sicilian.
Yeah, Shrivikov, I think, right?
Something this is the Kalashnikov.
Like Shrivikov is like a gun, I think. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. No, Kalashnikov is the gun. Kalashnikov is the guy. Kalashnikov's the gun. Gotcha. So anyway, but yeah, okay. I mean, D6 is okay. I mean, you have to kind of play a Kalashnikov with D6 and E5 instead. Okay. So here again, you should probably play E5. Mm-hmm. Okay, Knight F6 is okay, but again, you're going to be playing E5 next move. Okay, so here is where you can't play G6. Right. So the problem with G6 is that he can go take E5. Oh. And now you can't take this because of bishop F7.
The tactics, yeah.
So you have to play knight G4, and now he has a couple of good choices. He can play E6 actually, which actually looks really strong, but it's not as strong as you might think because you can play F5 here. And now it's a little tricky because you can't actually play D5 at any point because he can just take, and then if you take, like this is like
bishop,
But I mean, like eventually you could just play bishop G7 and castle, and then eventually play D5, and then that E6 pawn is kind of weak. So probably what's better for him to do is just take this, and then you have to take with the queen, and then queen takes, pawn takes, and then just castle for him, and he should be better here just because his pieces are better, and he has 2 pawn islands, you have 3. So I mean, it's pretty much impossible for you to win this endgame. But yeah, you see, so that's why Black usually plays E5 there instead of G6. But okay. So you actually ended up transposing into a dragon, sort of, because the guy missed
all these things. Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of worked out okay for you, but at the same time, you know,
definitely,
really important in Sicilians to have the right move order. So
right.
So okay, so he's going for this Yugoslav stuff. So you play bishop G7. Okay, so now we're basically transposed to fully mainline dragon somehow. Okay, you play bishop B3. Okay, you play bishop D7. Okay, so you're supposed to not play bishop D7. You're supposed to castle.
Right. Castle into this, but
yeah, but I mean, whatever. Okay, so queen D2. Okay, yeah. I mean, the longer you avoid castling, like the worse it is for you. But basically, you want to castle. When he plays H4, you want to play H5. Stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't even know like the whole theory on it. There's a lot of stuff you can do here.
Right.
Like, here, I mean, but you want to have castle first. But you want to play in like knight A5.
Okay.
Yeah, A6 is definitely a waste of a move. Yeah, you wanna have castle, then play knight A5, and try to play knight C4, try to get rid of that bishop, and then kind of just hold on the king side. But I mean, there's like 25 moves of theory in this, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. But let's get to the interesting part, because here you're almost lost.
Yeah, this should be lost, right?
Yeah, this is lost, right? So the problem is you can't just go like thinking that this attack is not dangerous, because it is dangerous. So so yeah, you kind of have to play H5 and kind of try to keep the H file closed. But once you play knight C4 and he plays H5, it's kind of tough because now he's getting queen H6 in pretty much by force, and he has this knight D5 idea, which he saw, which should almost win actually. But
what happened here? I thought this was. Is it based on the knight?
Because he should be able to. I think he should be able to play queen H6 check. I'm not sure, but he should be able to play queen H6.
Okay, and then sit down and then over. Yeah.
And then I don't know. Can he play?
Knight E6 was that was what I thought he was going to do, which I'm forced to play take and then Knight E3. But
well, I was thinking, can you just take on D5 and you take on D4 and then I was trying to make like a Queen G7 work, but I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a 2 pawns.
Oh no, you know what it is? You know what it is? Oh, you know what it is? Here it's Queen G7 first, because now it defends D4, attacks F8, and now F5, and now you're just losing. Gotcha. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Okay, so yeah, it is this line.
It is Queen G7. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so this is just winning for
down
him.
2 pawns. Yeah. Yeah. F and G passers. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he just took on D5, which is okay, but it kind of lets you back into the game because now you can kind of avoid the Rook F6. All right, so Queen H6.
Take. Yeah.
Queen H6.
Rook F6.
Okay, yeah, Rook F6. I just win. Queen G8.
Yeah.
And then if King C7, I play Rook H8, and now you're getting mated on the back rank.
Or you just take the knight if you. No.
Well, no, I can't take the knight because then you can I think you can play like E6 or something there, or Rook C5 maybe. But here now I'm just getting mated because now Rook D4, Queen D8, King C6, ED5, Rook D5, Queen B6, and Rook D5 should just be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Run! I don't think running works in that situation. Okay, so almost works, but not really. Okay, so now you're actually okay somehow. Like you're still a little worse, but like okay, you're not getting mated, and okay, you know, you have a typical Sicilian endgame, except unfortunately this pawn is really a problem.
Right.
So you played Rook F7, which is good. And you took, which is correct, because you can't really bear to have that knight there. And now, actually, this kind of helps you in a way. Even though this pawn is strong, it helps you that this pawn is no longer as weak as it was, because it's no longer...
Right, but something happened there. we'll get to that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Rook G7, I mean, forced, obviously, because you have to defend H7. Right. So this is all fine. Okay, Queen G5. Queen C5, good move, because, the closer you get to an endgame, the more likely you can draw this. Because, again, equal pawns, but he does have some initiative because all his pieces are kind of better than all your pieces right now. Especially the rooks are better than particularly your rook on G7. Right. So, Queen C5 is good, okay. So Rook C5, of course, was correct. You don't want to allow DC5, Rook D8 mate, so good enough to allow mate in 1. Alright, so you play Rook E1, and now here comes the endgame. Alright, so this is a double rook endgame, and you are up 2 minutes. There is no way you should lose to a 1641 player in this position up 2 minutes. Because, he is very slightly better, but not enough where he should win this position. So, okay, you play G5, which is fine. Nothing wrong with G5. You play G4. Okay, so you see how already he made a mistake because he gave himself a weakness on this square?
Right, that's what I was saying, yeah.
Right? So, you see how these players are really bad at endgames. So already he went from being slightly better to now he's slightly worse. Again, nothing where you could necessarily claim to get a win, but already you're slightly better. Yeah, Rook D6 doesn't work, by the way. It doesn't work in that like it's that great. So E7, Rook E7, Rook C8, Queen.
Yeah, this is a lot better because now
King F7, and then Rook H8. King F6. But see, the difference between what happened in the game and this is now this king is much more active than this king. So this is all fine for white, but like this is not great. It's better than what he played. Better than what he played. G5 was not bad. You guys know nothing about endgame.
G5 just to get to E6. That's my idea.
Yeah. Slightly better than G5 though is probably H5 just to give the king. Like, you want to get your king active as soon as possible. So the idea of H5 is to play King H7 and King H6.
Gotcha.
But G5 was not bad.
Okay.
But yeah, H5 is better.
Got it.
Chess kid don't know. Please. Okay, so Rook G6 was bad.
Yeah, okay, so here, King F8.
What you really need to do is you need to do a slide. You do a little electric slide. So King F8, because now Rook D6 doesn't work at all, right? Right. If E7, you just have King E8, and then you can play Rook G6. But King F8 is necessary first.
It's totally necessary.
Does actually make more sense now. The problem The problem with what the difference is you'll see. Is why is rook d6 stronger now? Is you'll see exactly why. The difference is, okay, so here, what he should play is what he played. Right, okay, but what he should play here actually is rook b7 check. And the point is now your rook's not on this 7th rank, so now your king has to come back here, and now your king is permanently cut off.
Right. I was going to sacrifice a pawn and run up to e5.
Yeah, that's not good though, because not only are you sacrificing a pawn, but like now your rook is passive too. Because okay, I mean, your only benefit for your king being up is to maybe gain this pawn, but like you can't actually get at that pawn because if you play king e5, I can play rook f7, and if you play rook f6, I can play rook g7, and now this pawn's lost. So you, like it just you're on the wrong squares basically. So that was the problem with what you did, because that line which basically happened is pretty much forced. But he made a mistake. So ed6, e7. Okay.
There was something there. I thought I could, because this pawn on g5 is freezing up the kingside pawns. But
right. So here b5 was obviously best, and now he should play rook b7. But he played rook b6. Okay, so here is the key point of the game right now. Okay, so the thing is you want to have okay, so it's a pure rook endgame, right? So what are the most important things in pure rook endgame?
Create pass pawn.
And what else?
Active king.
Yeah, exactly. And what did you do?
Oh, I didn't either. Yeah.
You didn't either, right?
Yeah. So king e6 and then rook f6 was better.
Right, exactly. Or even 6 right away. So rook f6, if he takes on a6, you even just take on f3, and this should just be a draw. Because if he takes on d6, he might be in danger of losing.
Because of the h and g.
And then you have 2 connected passers. So and your pawns are faster than his pawns.
h4, on h4, right?
Yeah. So I mean, basically, what he has to do is he has to basically take a draw, rook b6, rook g4, and just take a perpetual. So if your king ever comes this way too close, he'll win this pawn. But he'll just check you back and forth, and if your king runs again away too far, he'll be able to take this pawn on h7. But that should just be a draw, and that should just be an easy draw. But again, it's because you have the faster pawns. So rather than playing d5, which again allows him to kind of keep the stronger rook in this rook and pawn ending. So obviously rook takes rook is not good, but just simply rook b7.
Yeah.
Because again, losing this pawn is really a bad thing for you.
Okay.
So but yeah, even king e6 here should probably be preferred to what you did. So, but anyway, okay, so he didn't take on h7, and now actually you're slightly better because now you're not losing a pawn, and your king is far superior to his now, right?
Right.
So now you're actually slightly better. Not enough to win, I don't think.
Right.
You're still slightly better. So now, okay, so now this is probably the surest way for him to draw. So he took, you took. Okay, this is all best. Okay, king. Okay, so you should go king f4 right away. I mean, there's no reason not to, right? Force king to, like, why not?
Okay. How do we get in?
You're just gonna do something like this, right? I mean,
okay.
You can improve, right? I mean, so, but yeah, king f4 is something. I mean, why not bring your king in, right? Like, make any sense not to.
Yeah.
So a5.
Oh yeah, he has also king e3 here. Ouch. Never mind. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. I mean, you have d4, but I mean, still, like, it doesn't make any sense to play a5. I mean, you're gonna play d4 next, no matter what, anyway, and then it's gonna end up in a draw. But no, there's no zugzwang idea now.
Okay.
So c3. Okay. So yeah, again, you should probably actually just play d4 right away. Yeah. Because now it just looks like just looks like a complete draw, right? Because if you exchange these 2 pawns, it's just
opposition. Yeah.
And your king is just better, but you don't have enough to win because he can always defend all his pawns. But okay, so king f4. I mean, again, this is still fine, but you have to be a little careful because king e2, and now a4. And now you're starting to lose the thread, because the problem is you need to have a tempo on the queen side if necessary. Because like he's basically threatening to play this and then this and then this, and then it's starting to become a real problem for you. Because if your king is forced to keep going back, it's a real issue. So you have to play king g3 here to stop king f2.
Okay.
Because if he gets king f2, he's always going to have more tempi than you because you already pushed your queenside pawns too far. So you always want to try to hold your pawns in reserve as long as possible, because it gives you more tempi, so that, you know, like, because eventually if you reach some kind of position like, I don't know, I'm just going to make a wasting move for you, but like this, but you have more moves than he does, you can always force it to move, and then you can guarantee a draw. But if it's your move here, this is just a loss for you, right? Because, I mean, then this is forced, then this forced, and it's just bad news. So, okay. But you played, okay, so yeah, so here king g3 is pretty much something you need to do here. But after a4, this is actually pretty much lost, because now, okay, a3 was a bad move, but he should play king f2 here. Because now king f2, okay, so now you have no pawn moves, right? So now king e5, king e3, and now, I mean, where are you going to play? Okay, so you play king e6, right? So that on king d4 you can play king d6. But now the problem is, now he has, right. Yeah. See, so now you not only no pawn moves, but he has a pawn move, right?
Gotcha. And then, yeah, he gets in somehow. Yeah,
right.
c5 in.
This way, yeah. So maybe actually it's possible. I don't know. Yeah, you kind of have to count this out, but it's possible this is still a draw actually.
Because I can get to b2 and a3.
Like, okay, so king c6, and then you count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8, 9. So that actually might be a draw. So yeah, actually, I think best is actually a3. Here, so that. But see, the problem is on a3. Like if he plays ba3, then king d6 is probably a draw. Although maybe he can play a4. Like these endgames are really complicated always, because now ba4, now a3, now it's like your move. But this might still be a draw because king e6, king c5, king e5, and then he goes for this pawn. You get these two, and then you have to count. So you have to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, that might be a draw. Like all these things could be draws. Like you just have to count. It's ridiculous. But okay, let's go to the actual real thing. These are all crazy, but. Yeah. Okay, so this should just be a clear draw right here, like no questions asked. But okay, so on f4 you have to ask yourself, what is he threatening? And the problem is he threatening f5. So if you just play gf4, it's fine.
Really?
The point is that after king f4,
oh yeah, king h3,
right, and then a king g5, g3.
King h3, yeah.
So fine for you. King f6, king f4. Keep walking. King e6, king e4, you keep walking. And then if you play king d6, you don't have to play king d4, you can just play d4. And again, it's perfectly fine. So what would happen is king e6, take, king c6, king c4, king b6 here, or sorry, not there, but b4, take, and then it's just a draw.
Yeah.
6, just whatever, you know, draw. So anyway, but yeah, taking on f4, and then again, your king is just in time to save everything.
Yeah, time is king h3 there. So.
But okay, king h3. But again, here it's not completely over. But this queen ending is tough for you to hold at the very least.
Definitely with 10 seconds left. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's lucky you have the queen with check, but.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Pawn. And his king can hide. So I mean, obviously it's all best at this point, I think. And then queen f2, so obviously a queen trade is now lost for you because now your king's on the wrong side.
Right.
But
trying to delay the issue here.
Yeah, I mean you had no time left also, which was kind of sad, but
tragic comedy.
Yeah, you probably have some sort of perpetual / winning this pawn. Like if you can win this pawn, it's probably a draw.
Oh yeah, I think I won it twice. Right here.
Yeah,
right
so if you win this pawn, it's just a draw. But again, you had no time. So.
Right. I was just like, I should have taken the pawn. I think I remember saying that during the game, but yeah. And then here, oh, I think I got my king closer, but I was trying to go for some skewer.
Yeah, I know.
Avoid the checks, and yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is actually, this is actually,
still draw?
Well, this is actually...
King c4, obviously, but I screwed up that one.
Wait, isn't this a draw now?
Yeah, it is. But I screwed it up by playing king c5 pre-move. Like, it was just,
But isn't this still a draw?
What?
Yeah.
Take? Okay, take.
Oh, no, yes, you play ab3.
Yeah, take.
Yeah, because the problem is it's going to be a drawn king and pawn ending, or he's left with a rook pawn. Either way, it's still a draw.
Okay, so what did I do here?
You played. You see now.
Oh, that's what. There we go.
If you take a draw.
Yeah.
Because I mean, how can it be?
This I know. This one I know. King b6, easy.
King anything. King d6. What's the difference? King anywhere. Any legal move draws here. Even king d5 draws. Because no matter what he does, you just play king c6 next move, and it's just a drawn king and pawn ending.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a case of where one pawn is stopping two. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, king 6 is bad, but king c6 is easy. Guess what?
Yeah.
This is exactly in Dvoretsky. Exactly.
Yeah. See, this is. See, you need to know Dvoretsky so well that you can draw these endgames in your sleep. Like you should know that AB3 is just the.
Right. I mean, I wish I can't tell the move time, but I think this is like maybe 2 seconds, or I didn't think at all because I had
you had 6 seconds left.
Yeah, actually, it's a king c4.
See, you should know in 6 seconds. Boom, AB.
Definitely.
No, but yeah, I mean, I don't really fault you. I mean, it's a tough.
Let's do this, and let's go here, and let's go here. And this king is out. He can't outflank or something. So
yeah, I mean, I actually thought you were gonna flag him.
That too.
If you had actually started moving faster a little bit sooner, I think you could have actually gotten the draw. Because he was definitely taking like half a second to move, and like obviously you were gonna take a tenth of a second every move, no matter what. But I saw you kind of slipped a couple of times and took half a second. But I thought you were gonna actually draw the game, which would have been the just result.
Yeah, definitely.
The moral of the story is, man, that endgame. I mean, it was a tricky endgame for being a double rook ending because it had a lot of nuance to it. But like, basically, king activity and passed pawns are important in rook endgames. And I mean, and he gave you that king activity in the end, but then you just didn't really take it until. But also, getting rid of weak pawns is important. So playing that d4 sooner, because like you were never in danger of losing that pawn on d4. So like just because you're advancing it. To an advanced square doesn't necessarily mean you're, in danger of losing it, especially when you play c3, because then you're just trading off those pawns, and then it just makes it really easy to draw the game. So, and yeah, just when you're playing Sicilians,
Yeah, see, this is why I quit playing Sicilians.
Move orders.
Yeah.
Big sure, because really that move order shouldn't work. So.
I was definitely. I mean, see, again, this is why I quit Sicilian, because I found out this was at nationals. I was 5-0. Going into Sunday, and this is like a little kid, and I was like under 1200 section or something like that, and so I was like, 5-0, lost is I played the Sicilian as black on Sunday morning, lost, and then lost again, so I was first, and then I got knocked down to like tied for 25th, so I was like, gosh, I want that big trophy, so, but yeah.
Your past failures, sway your judgment.
I definitely studied a lot of openings when I started, but then
that's what people usually do, and then they usually either find it boring or they just find something they like and they just stick with it. But yeah, there are not too many people who are kind of like opening mavens who like love to like read up on all the newest theory and stuff. So.
Right. I swear I had a computer book. Because when I bought Replica, I actually got an opening book too. So. Yeah, it had the new theories at the time. It was like 3 years ago, but still.
It's better than what's happening now. So.
Yeah, definitely. So right now I have like an opening exploring book, but that does not really do much. So. Oh,
but you gotta pick something, and you gotta just start playing it, and you gotta just look at the games in the opening. You gotta just learn it, because mean, you can't be playing these positions where on move 7 they already, are basically theoretically have a position where they can never lose,
Mm-hmm.
So
giving away the advantage.
Well, not even opening advantage. I mean, just giving away any chance of having a position where you can equalize in. Like, I mean, that position in that opening after G6, if they take on C6 and play E5, like you can just at that end game you can just never be better. Like, I mean, there's no risk for white whatsoever there, just because you have 3 pawn islands and you have 2. So.
Right.
I mean, sorry.
No.
You have 3 and they have 2. But
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm good. Sniff, sniffle, Bible thump. But yeah, no, definitely openings. Yeah. I'll figure it out.
Yep. So you're gonna do another 15-minute game?
Yeah, sure. Probably another break.
Okay.
Gosh, 2068. Oh well, I'll get over 2100.
If they thought you were gonna lose 30 points in that game, they forgot that you're still provisional and that you only played 12 games. So yeah, he lost
a lot.
Yeah. Almost 80 points.
Yep.
Yep, 72. I learned
yeah.
Even Lily's giving you sample advice.
Yeah. Yay.
But I mean, see, like even though the opening didn't go well for you, and even though you were technically lost at some point, you see how you actually still managed to get a drawn position.
Yeah.
Just because the guy didn't really know what he was doing. So.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of. I think that's.
So.
I think this is what how I kind of swindled my way up to 1900. So.
I mean, I know what it's like. I'm not saying it's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying, imagine how much easier it would be.
Right. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is. I just read this in game. The pawns were a little bit more advanced. It was on A4, C4, and black's pawn was on B6. But still,
I mean, in any case, I mean, it's tricky with 6 seconds for sure. Like, if you had like a minute and you got it wrong,
Easy.
like then I would say
yeah.
wrong. But no, I mean 6 seconds, whatever. I mean, like you basically got the premium anyway. But I'm just saying, like, it's just funny that like something that almost is exactly from his book kind of came up in your game.
Exactly. So, right after like 2 days later. So,
yeah,
but definitely observed the material though. Definitely from that. So.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So let's see. I get white this time. What opening? E4, D4.
I mean, just do something that you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, just it doesn't. It doesn't matter if it's hyper modern. Doesn't matter if it has a name. Doesn't matter anything. Just as long as you're contesting squares and as long as you're doing something you're comfortable with, it's all that matters. It doesn't matter what opening it is. I mean, we can give you suggestions, but I mean, something you're comfortable with, don't do it, because so. But yeah, something that's more something that you might see a top player play, not something that no one above 2200 would play. So.
Right. That F4's only for the bullet, anyways. So.
Yeah. I mean, if it's comfortable to play F4 and bullet, it's fine. But the problem is, like, if you get too used to playing it in bullet, like, it kind of becomes like muscle memory. Because I know, like, when I play my bullet games, like, I stick to openings that I used to play as opposed to openings that I want to try to learn. So. It kind of helps though when you play bullet to try to play the openings that you're trying to learn, just in terms of muscle memory, because it kind of like helps patterns and stuff,
Yeah, and then just like exploring the opening a lot faster. Like
yeah, exactly.
Like a mini chess position trainer. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see stuff that you might have not seen, if you had only played it in in a longer game. So, yeah, I mean, I know it's easier to play what's more comfortable, but even if you have to take a couple 100-point 1-minute hit temporarily, to kind of install some new openings into your repertoire, it might be worth it just to kind of get the practice with it. So.
Cool. Alrighty.
All right.
Thank you. And,
all right. Good luck.
All right, definitely.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.